Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Shari.
I'm excited to bring this update to you regarding the implementation committee work that has been done. More than 5 years ago, a vision for the future of the Catholic Women's League was initiated. For those of you who perhaps have not been involved over the past several years in the League, may or may not know about the strategic plan that was formulated through discussion, examination, professional consultant guidance, and input from members across Canada. That all happened. We are now entering year 4 in the development of that strategic plan. Many resources have been developed through the guidance, organization, and hard work of the implementation committee, who you see here on your screen. Sharon Sieben, Krista Gilmare, Sister Susan Scott, and Jacqueline Noget lead several working groups of engaged, intelligent, dedicated women from across the country. Your president, Fran Lucas, and Executive Director Kim Scammell are ex officio, and I am the liaison to the National Board. You will now hear from each of the leads of the Implementation Committee as they update you on our strategic plan.
So did you know that the CWL has a meeting every year with the Government of Canada so we can voice issues of change?
No, I did not know that.
How cool is that?
That's pretty cool.
70,000 members across Canada. You're working with a nonprofit organization that also has, like in my situation, similar beliefs to myself, and that can be a huge push because now you can petition different parliament members.
Retreat, I think they do have a retreat.
When you start going to national conventions and you meet somebody and you stay in touch with these women and you can touch base about schools and what's happening in New Brunswick versus what's happening in Quebec versus what's happening in British Columbia, it's really, really cool about people's perspective from the different corners of our country.
It's something that is for us to reach out to the crowds and to say, you are welcome, we need you, your country needs you.
So from a political perspective, you can lobby change in a way that no other group in Canada can.
That's so cool though. I really didn't know that.
And it is extremely rewarding when you think about the impact that has on everybody and on our country. It's huge.
Good morning. I'm Krista Grollmeyer, and I lead Goal 1. As we continue to create awareness of the League through marketing, 2 other working groups of Goal 1 have begun to deliver on their objectives, to increase the effectiveness of communications and to develop training programs to meet the needs of our current demographic. Since 2019, Connie, Kathy, Lisa, Kathy, Jesse, and Terry May have been working together with Clark Communications to deliver some amazing campaigns to raise awareness of the League. These videos and vignettes were posted throughout the year on social media and also on the national website To Inspire page, so that they could be downloaded for use in parish councils. You'll be seeing these videos throughout our presentation. In talking to the audience, we interviewed 4 Catholic women from across the country who shared their views on the League and what issues they care about. This provided great insights to the development of the 30-second commercial that is energetic and lively and recognizes our superpower as Catholic women. Share the Love has been a very successful digital engagement campaign that encourages sharing media posts with someone in your social circle. The posts were viewed over 680,000 times during the 3-month campaign. The Innovation Nation map of Canada showcases our national sisterhood and can be shared on social media. Also, the poster can be displayed in your parishes across the country and the postcards sent far and wide. The marketing group's emphasis shifted somewhat this year to focus on providing tools to help members promote the League with positive and affirming messages. As you can see, we have taken the 52 words from the Sisterhood map and explained how they represent the Catholic Women's League purpose and values. These elevator pitches can be used in conversations, parish bulletins, or posted on social media. Here's an example. Over our history, members have proposed hundreds of resolutions. Some become laws, others serve as seeds for change, and others serve to educate our members. We invite you to discover more. Here's another one. We are more than sandwich makers. Yes, service is part of our ministry as we feed many in sadness, friendship, and celebration. But we are so much more. Did you know that members of the CWL donate more than $1 million to charities across the country each year, as well as thousands of volunteer hours? Truth be told, we can do more with you on our team. So these 52 descriptions of our League will give you parishes one to post every week of the year. My second group, under Marilyn's leadership, Catherine, Lisa, Anita, Maria, and Jackie have been looking at how communication across all levels of the organization can be improved, streamlined, and expedited. A survey of members resulted in 1,370 responses with pages and pages of comments that have formed the base for a strategy document. The working group members looked at the criteria for effective communications, defining areas that need to be improved and changed. The team is now working on a communications guide that will help to increase the effectiveness of communication within and from the Catholic Women's League, and this will be delivered in 2023. And my third group, Mary is leading Gail, Julie, Lynette, and Anna on the task to address members' resistance to take on leadership roles due to lack of training. They first surveyed members on their training preference, and 761 members from across the country provided their input. They then prepared an organizational assessment that identified 7 priorities, including the development of a protocol to evaluate the 73 existing training programs available, and they looked at currency, electronic, non-electronic delivery, and the knowledge skills required to deliver the program. A Train the Trainer program is currently being developed, since 2/3 of members surveyed have never delivered training of any kind, 30% have a fear of presenting, and 40% don't have the technical knowledge. This working group will continue to work together until February 2024. The women of the 3 working groups of Goal 1, and I feel really special, have one primary objective: to develop tools to create positive change through marketing, training, and effective communication. And I am so honored to be working with them, and I've been so honored to meet most of them in person. Thank you.
The Catholic Women's League is an amazing networking opportunity. It's an amazing way to promote women and to promote each other.
It's a great experience and you get to learn a lot from them. So it's like you're helping them because it's so fun to kind of walk into a room and when you're youth, you kind of have a superpower in the CWL that they're all just like, oh my goodness.
Women are extremely powerful and have the ability to be powerful and strong, but also hold you in their arms and like take care of you.
So you do have that support there as well. So that is always a benefit.
The idea is that together we are stronger than alone.
One of hundreds, thousands of voices. And the thing that's really cool is that all of those voices, when put together, have a humongous impact.
But I do think that it's important for all women to understand that as faithful women, we all have a place at the table.
It is awe-inspiring, and it's really cool to be a part of something where everybody is so excited and everybody is so motivated and everybody has the same direction that they're going. It's really, really awesome.
Yes, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's getting much brighter. The Year 2 Catholic Social Teachings Working Group of Shelley, Belinda, and Linda is almost completely finished its work. There are 2 more key principles yet to be completed and released at a future date. These add to the resources already available on the national website for members to use as they begin to focus on the core value of social justice. And by now, I assume that every single one of you has been to the display table and had a look at those resources, not just for my working group. If you haven't, you still had a chance to look at them before they're distributed across the country. I can't invite you in strong enough words to explore and use these resources. The two Year 3 working groups active in Goal 2 are the Government Collaboration Working Group of Ruth, Diane, Janice, and Claudette, and the Advocacy Working Group Margot, Sylvia, Glenda, and Diane. Both of these Year 3 working groups are nearing the end of their completion and will be finalizing a total of 6 PowerPoint-formatted workshops. These workshops are geared to the parish council level and are designed to be presented in either a full day or multiple day format without having to bring in a presenter from outside your council. These workshops will provide outstanding background into why we advocate and collaborate with governments based on our sacred scriptures, baptism, the call to live the vision of the Second Vatican Council, and the ongoing call from Jesus to build God's kingdom or reign on earth as it is in heaven. The resources that accompany the PowerPoints include presenters' notes, handouts for participants, resources list, and we hope to mirror the executive orientation training tools by including audio files for each workshop. The newly formed Year 4 working group, consisting of Lolita, Marissa, Teresa, and Luina, has completed its action plan to address 2 strategies. Number 1, identify faith organizations, both ecumenical and interfaith, with similar core values and missions. And strategy number 2, to clarify the manner that collaborations with these identified organizations might happen. The anticipated completion of this working group is April of 2023. When one considers all these working groups and the strategies which have been addressed, a large and complete picture emerges. Who would have thought that the order in which these important strategies were tackled would have been so insightful and logical. First, we educate ourselves about the rich tradition of social justice and Catholic social teachings. Then, we use these tools to help us become more confident and successful in advocating for the cry of the earth and the cry of the poor. And this naturally leads us to work with governments at any level to help create the kingdom which Jesus envisioned. Finally, we reach out to and extend our work to include our sister churches and all people of goodwill with a similar vision of God's kingdom here on earth. It has been such a blessing for me to have worked with and spent time with these dedicated CWL members. Like myself, they too long to see their work bear fruit across the country in parish councils, giving flesh to Jesus as Mary did by living our baptismal call. The Lord has anointed me. He has sent me to bring good news to the oppressed, to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives and release to the prisoners, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor. Isaiah chapter 61. Thank you.
We don't only care about just the camaraderie and the social, we contribute to the shaping of our country as well. Because when we go to those legislatures and we speak with like MPs and we have campaigns regarding those resolutions, so these are a way that you can be impactful.
I kind of started to get an idea of the big picture of how much the CWL does have an influence on not only the members of the parish, but members of government and parliament.
We worked with the CRTC on violence in television and making sure that television shows were rated appropriately for children, resolutions for low-income Canadians and affordable housing, exit strategies for women who have been exploited. You have a voice on making sure children are safe inside the welfare system. There are a number of other ones. I think it's really important that women know that the Catholic Women's League is a group of women that have a voice and have the opportunity to make change and drive change.
The real reason that enticed me to join would be the action that they are able to take on so many different issues.
The League continues to foster a culture where all life is valued with dignity and respect. The Year 3 working groups have created many resources to help all members achieve this goal. The networking working group was made up of Elaine, Annette, and Diane. They were given the task of networking with other Catholic organizations to capitalize on their existing programs in order to increase opportunities for the spiritual development of our members. A 2-page brochure and plain Word document was created. The documents list organizations from coast to coast that offer spiritual programs and retreats that are relevant and available to our members. This brochure has been released and can be found on the CWL website. The actively engaged working group is made up of Rosalie, Maureen, Iris, and Anne. This working group has created a resource to help engage new members and members who are homebound. The first thing that the group did was to create definitions on who new and homebound members are in the League. They researched best practices by reviewing a sampling of diocesan reports from across the country. They created focus groups for new members and homebound members. They have completed their resource and are waiting for feedback from the original focus group members. The Generational Activity Working Group has completed its work. The group consisted of Sheila, Rosemarie, Cynthia, and Jennifer. This working group was given the strategy of encouraging multi- and intergenerational activity and diversity. They wrote an article explaining the importance of intergenerational activities for both younger and more experienced people. Included in the article is a resource list for people who are interested in learning more about the benefits of intergenerational activities. The working group also created a document full of activity suggestions and resources for parishes wanting to encourage this interaction. The Increased Connectedness Working Group was made up of Louise, Christine, Donna, Marilyn, and Sharon. This working group has completed its work. The strategy had the working group developing tools to increase connectedness among members. They created 2 final documents. The first document contains ideas for parish council members to stay connected to each other between meetings. It also has ideas for diocesan council executive to stay connected to their parish council counterparts between meetings. This document has been forwarded to the National Office for final editing and vetting. The second document contains ideas and suggestions to help members across Canada become more connected to each other. This document has been submitted to the National Board for their consideration. There is one Goal 3 working group that has been created this year. The newly formed Mentor Members Working Group includes Yolanda, Diane, Karen, and Linda. This group is responsible for completing 2 strategies: capitalize on the expertise of others, including engaging life members as mentors, and focus on intergenerational skills mentorship. They are planning to create a skills bank of League members that are willing to serve as mentors within the League. They will be surveying life members and members who are exiting national, provincial, regional, and diocesan executives. They will also be reaching out to parish councils through provincial presidents and asking for parish council members to share their expertise. We are all better when we share what we know with others. Please look for these surveys in early fall.
When you join, there's these little things that really make a difference in other people's lives.
No good deed is at loss. If you're doing something good, it's going to come back to you one way or another.
When people say, oh, I don't have the time, maybe you don't know that you could have an impact with the Catholic schools. Maybe you don't know that just by signing up, you have a voice that can be heard at a much greater level.
The CWL does have so much to offer, even for students, for parents. Also, like every single walk of life, they're so supportive in everything.
It doesn't matter if you have 5 kids, 2 kids, if you're married and you don't have kids, if you're single.
We need the bodies, we need the membership, we need the people to participate so we have that voice. And it is extremely rewarding when you think about the impact that that has on everybody.
Good morning. The focus of Goal 4 is to address critical issues existing within the League. You may be wondering why this critical issue approach is so important and was added, what the issues are, and how they will be addressed. Members have identified and shared major roadblocks which hinder and stop them from following the League's fundamental programs and policies. Failing to address these issues would have a negative impact on the League's success and its ability to reach the envisioned future. To date, 2 resources have been developed and posted to the national website: the Welcome Program and the Joy of Leadership Through Ministry Guide. The Welcome Program is an extensive resource on the art of accompaniment and relationship building through relentless invitation. An adaptable member information form assists in discovering what members enjoy doing using their charisms. Relevant examples and suggestions on relationship building, educating, evaluating, and engaging members are also included. The Joy of Leadership Through Ministry Guide. It unwraps our call to ministry, and it provides a wealth of information on potential small group activities and projects for members engaged in parish councils, incorporating our core values of faith, service, and social justice. Now, let's look at what is to come. In year 3, working group members focused their talents and expertise on the development of a smartphone app, whose purpose is to keep users up to date and motivated in learning more about the League. Marilyn, Susan, Ingrid, and Carrie began by developing a detailed survey with 2 key areas being the benefits and features requested from potential users for the app and the types of equipment being used. And we received nearly 1,000 respondents. Once this valuable information was organized, 6 focus groups were held with members. Each lively session provided participants an additional opportunity to share their opinion on which not only validated but enhanced the information we had already collected. The ladies are now in the final stage of step 1 of their plan, developing a business case for the development of the app. This will be presented to our national executive at their fall meeting. If approval to proceed is granted, a service provider will be selected and development of the app will begin. In year 4, 2 strategies have been combined. Educate members on the core purpose of the League and to provide education on the League's priorities. Cecile, Barbara, Marjorie, and Barb have completed their action plan and are excited to begin developing a resource which will educate members on the League's core purpose of uniting Catholic women to grow in faith and to promote social justice through service to the Church, Canada, and the world, as well as educate members on the League's priorities, which are our objects. Stay tuned for more exciting news and resources as we move forward. God bless.
If somebody is looking for a deeper involvement of their faith, joining CWL is one good option.
Living your faith journey through the Catholic Women's League and having those sisters to talk to, having those sisters to bounce ideas on parenting with, bounce those ideas on schooling with, bounce those ideas off of somebody who has a similar faith journey, it's pretty special stuff.
I would just like any members of those working groups that you saw on the screen, if any of those members of those groups are here, could you just stand to be recognized, please? They're incredible. So, from these reports, I hope you see and appreciate the incredible resources that have been developed for the League of the Future. created by women from across Canada. And I also hope that you embrace these resources, use them, develop them. We'll prosper and grow if all members are positive and reach out to women in our parishes and invite them to join this incredible organization that is the Catholic Women's League of Canada. I just want to give you some statistics from our project coordinator, Carrie Sylvester. 21 working groups have been formed and worked to date. 84 members were involved in those working groups. 15,922 hours have been contributed in those working groups. Volunteering to July 2022. I'd like you to join me in the prayer for renewal. This was created by one of our IC leads, Sister Susan Scott. We often use this in our meetings. So if you can join me, prayer for renewal. God of new beginnings, ever faithful God, we thank you for your constant care of the women of the Catholic Women's League of Canada. We have sought to serve you in faith by service to your people, under the guidance of the Holy Spirit, and with the help of Our Lady of Good Counsel, we continue to discern your call to seek justice and build your kingdom on earth each day. We ask your guidance as we plan the evolution of the Catholic Women's League of Canada. Grant us wisdom, the grace of discernment and strength. May each of us open her heart and mind to your will and welcome the new life you bring to the League. We ask this through our Jesus Christ.